Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond, and you're listening to The Mike Wagner Show.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosenzel, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available on Amazon.
The Mike Wagner Show, also brought to you by The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, available on Amazon, highlighting the Book of David.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosenzel Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Coming soon, Missing 2 by Mia Mosenzel, double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, now on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner, and the Sensei Swing Eric Diamond with the latest All of Me. New music coming soon to your favorite platform, Facebook, Spotify, and more, ericdiamondmusic.com. We're here with a terrific lady who's a first-time author and a vibrant survivor of TBI, which is traumatic brain injury, and an advocate for TBI awareness, hoping to inspire others with her story of survival and resilience. She's living in Studio City, California, continues to write and speak about her experience, and participates in brain injury groups, sharing her story, and tells the story. She was hit by an intoxicated driver back in September of 2019, falling to the ground with various injuries, and her new book shares an incredible journey of survival, reflecting how hope can help navigate life's challenges. The book is called The Best of the Worst. Live, ladies and gentlemen, at Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Studio City, California, the amazing first-time author, vibrant survivor of TBI, and the book The Best of the Worst, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Emily Silver Owen. Emily, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Well, it's great to have you on board as well. Looks like you're really excited about this. Yes.
There.
All right, great. Okay. All right, so
Wait, you're not Mike?
I'm sorry?
Wait, the guy that was talking to me wasn't Mike Wagner?
Yep, that's me. That's me. You're talking to him right here on the telephone here. So this is a classic way of doing things. So anyway, you're a first-time author. You're a vibrant survivor of TBI, traumatic brain injury, and an advocate for TBI awareness, hoping to inspire others with their story of survival and resilience. And you continue to write and speak about experience and participate in brain injury groups, sharing his story. You were hit by an intoxicated driver on September of 2019, and your new book shares the incredible journey of survival, reflecting how hope can help navigate life's challenges. And the book is called The Best of the Worst. And before getting on it, Emily, tell us how you first got started.
I first got started because I love to write. I've always loved to write. I've been on, newspapers at all my schools. And after this horrible thing happened to me, I woke up from my coma, and I was in the hospital for 6 months, and then about a month after, when I was home, I had this idea, just like waiting to be told, like a story waiting to be told. And I couldn't type when I started writing it, so I dictated it to my aunt, and she would write it for me. And then after about like a month of that, I started writing with just one finger on each hand, tap, 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 tap. Mm-hmm. And it became a book. It started as just a way for me to process what had happened and kind of like understand what had happened and who I was now. And then when it was got long enough, my aunt helped me form it into like themes and chapters, And then when it started looking like a book, we thought about how much it could help people, And there's a great list of resources and the cool therapies I got to try. And I think it can help anyone, especially those going through traumatic brain injury, obviously. But I think it can help anyone.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. And something like this is pretty much a rare case that you survived. Unfortunately, your dog Teddy, died instantly and hit the ground. You're ready to graduate from Humboldt State University. And, before we get back to it, what was your major at the time at Humboldt State? You had like 2 classes to go. You're getting ready to graduate. And what was your...
Why I had graduated, I walked in the June or July graduation. And then 2 weeks into my super senior semester, I get hit by a car on a Saturday afternoon, broad daylight, by an intoxicated driver. And my dog died, unfortunately. But I like to think that he's the reason why I survived. Was because he died. He took the impact for my body. My body took the impact, and it makes me, sleep better at night knowing that he died for me. Or thinking they died for me.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. And then when you were on your way, when you got hit by a taxi driver back in 2019, and were you heading in class back then, or where were you heading at the time of the accident?
It's very unknown where I was going, because I wasn't near my house. I was near this marsh area in the town that I like to walk at. So I'm assuming I was walking there. I don't really know. But it was broad daylight in the middle of the day on Saturday. And I was just trying to take my dog and walk in, and that didn't go as planned.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. And of course, they had, on the way over, and of course, you seem to come out a changed person as well, too, and get to more of that with the best of the worst with Emily Silver Owen. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, International Warring Author, me and Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by me and Molson Zia, available on Amazon, paperback, and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be first to go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by me and Molson Zia has garnered great reviews. And EV11 endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and Minnows. So grab your copy today for goes Missing by me and Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2 by me and Molson Zia. Double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David's Psalms. A Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote in his time as a shepherd where it started, and complicated yet turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by the Sensei of Swing, Eric Diamond has latest release, All of Me, featuring the title track, I've Got a New Heartache, Bring Me Sunshine, Strike a Match, and more. Eric's a multi-award winning artist, inducted in numerous Hall of Fames, entertainer, album of the year, and will be releasing a new CD soon. Check out the amazing Eric Diamond at ericdiamondmusic.com. Follow on all social medias, your favorite podcast platform, and pick up the latest copy at your favorite retailer as well. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show, themikewagnershow.com, 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries. Take us with you on any mobile device for great gift ideas. Go to Amazon.com, check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com, check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson for great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and more. And also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the amazing Emily Silver Owen of The Best of the Worst here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we get into more of the book, you also had an article about I survived being hit, but woke up forever changed. That was on Newsweek. And of course, tell us more about that. And I guess the question is, will she ever wake up? And I guess you had a lot of resilience on that one.
So what's the question?
Oh no, I was going to say about you were featured in Newsweek about I survived being hit but woke up forever changed, and a bit more about that. And I guess the question was, will she ever wake up? That was like the first scary thing, and maybe just a bit more going to the story and everything.
It was, will she wake up? They didn't have an answer, but they said that because I was young, I was 22, that there was I had a good chance of recovering. And when but they really had no idea. My brain scans were like pretty clean, but there might have been chances of bleeding that fortunately didn't happen, but were possible to happen, but they didn't happen. And they didn't know if I would wake up, what my level of cognition would be, if I would be physically disabled, if I would be emotionally. I'm not obviously still emotionally distraught, but they had no idea if I would wake up, when I would wake up, how I'd be when I would wake up. So I was probably sleeping for a week-ish.
Oh wow, a week straight?
Oh my God, yeah. And I joke now because I do love to sleep. I joke that I love to sleep so much that one time I did it for more than a week.
Maybe we should trade places one day. I think many of us could use some sleep. We should trade places one day. But yeah, you were asleep for a whole week. And now, was it at the time that you're in a coma state? Was it still in a process of repair? Or what was going through the motions at the time while you're asleep for a week?
I was minimally conscious, which is like basically in a near coma. But when you're in a coma, if they pinch you or do anything, you don't move, obviously. But when they would, pinch me or try to brush my teeth, I would open my mouth and I would move my arm away if they would touch me. And I was, it's exactly what it sounds like, minimally conscious. Like I was basically in a coma, but I would react to certain things, and I would follow people, like my eyes would follow people when they would go to the bathroom in my room. So I was minimally conscious, literally.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And of course, at the time as well that you pretty much had a number of injuries to the brain and accidents all over, torn, shear, like shaken baby syndrome. And of course, I'm thinking about it. What were the chances of survival? Having that, I'm trying to read the Newsweek article here. Got on paper here. So what was it? The DAI. And I don't know if you read, but what was like the percentage of, surviving, DAI?
There isn't really percentages, but it was just because they didn't know if I would wake up or when I would wake up, but they would just tell my family there's a good chance that she's going to wake up. But we don't know when she will wake up. We don't know what her level of cognition will be, what her physical deficits will be. They had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
DAI is diffuse axonal injury, which means that the axons in my brain, which connecting fibers in your brain, got sheared, which means torn. It's like a medical term for torn apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I have deficits, I'm working through my physical deficits, emotional deficits, cognitive deficits, speech deficits. I have to relearn everything. I have to relearn how to walk, how to talk, how to, feed myself, everything.
Mm-hmm. And do you think about with the walking, talking, feeding, and everything? Of course, a typical child, it takes about a year, 2, 3, or something like that. How long did it take, for to relearn all that? Was it the same amount of time, like if you're a baby or a child, or did it take a lot longer because of the adult state?
Honestly, it was faster because I was young, definitely, but I was in the hospital for 6 months. I lived in hospitals and nursing homes even.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I woke up, it's not like how you wake up in movies from a coma when they just open their eyes and are totally fine. I opened my eyes at first, but they were unseeing eyes, And eventually I would, the first thing they when they knew I was kind of in there was when they would tap my mouth with the toothbrush. I would open my mouth so they could brush their teeth. And so that's when I knew I was maybe in there. But it took weeks for me to regain consciousness, months for me to actually become aware. I didn't even ask about my late dog, Teddy. I didn't even ask where he was until 3 months into my recovery because I didn't remember him.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 months in, I asked my dad, I said, "Where's Teddy?" And he said, "You were at my car." And I knew that. And he said, "You were walking Teddy." And it obviously didn't go well. I was very, very, hyperventilating, very upset. He was my late mom's dog who she gave me on her deathbed, to watch over. And he saved my life. So I think in a way that was, my mom kind of maybe knew. But he didn't suffer though. He died instantly because she was going, 30 miles an hour. And when we were hit. But I don't really have any, I have a few scars, but I didn't break any bones. I didn't really have any major wounds. Really, the main injury was to my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like second baby syndrome, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then when it comes to finishing college, you're about 2 classes, 2 weeks or whatever it was away. Do you think it was a lot more challenging, or what was the degree of difficulty for you to, as soon as you got the basics, back down once again, like walking, talking, feeding, and everything like that? How difficult would you say it was, trying to catch up on your work and trying to, get up to speed, trying to learn and catch up with the classes before graduating?
They let me graduate by substituting classes I'd already taken for the classes I needed to take. So since I walked in that August or June or whenever, 2019, I got hit in September 2019, but I had already walked in my graduation. So I graduated, I had my diploma. I just had 2 more classes to take. Like I said, I was 2 weeks into my super senior semester when we were injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't actually have to go back to school. Thank goodness. They substituted other things I had done for the class I had to take.
Okay. And what was the things they substituted instead?
Just things I did a lot of extracurricular things in college. So they substituted maybe some, I honestly don't know. Maybe because the class, I had to take my capstone class for my major. And the head of my major, was amazing. And she made it happen that she made sure that I could graduate.
Okay. And it does sound like they managed to get you through as well too. And you also talked to me before a show that you also participate in groups, and you write a book and articles about TBI, and you also work a couple part-time jobs and everything else. And especially the big one is we'll be talking about the book The Best of the Worst with Emily Silver Owen. It gets to that 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's Missing, and brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner, and brought to you by Sensei Swing Eric Diamond with the latest All of Me at ericdimemusic.com. We'll be back with multi-talent Emily Silver Owen of The Best of the Worst after this timeout.
Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond, and you're listening to The Mike Wagner Show.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, I'm Burl Barer, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, someone he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing. This is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he could rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by Mian Mosensia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, either paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by Mian Mosensia.
Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond. You're listening to The Mike Wagner Show. You can check out our music and know all about us at www.ericdiamondmusic.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. You can friend me on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, and you can even buy both of my albums off of Facebook. Just get a hold of me on the Facebook Messenger. We have them available in CD or thumb drive. Thank you so much, and hope you have a great day.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back to the amazing, multi-talented Emily Silver Owen of The Best of the Worst here on the Mike Wagner Show. And let's get to the book as well. And we covered Newsweek. I think that was a great story on that. And it's basically, you share your experiences, participate in brain injury groups, and you got your story as well. And your new book shares your amazing journey of survival, reflecting on how hope can help navigate through life's challenges. And what exactly would you call hope?
My hope was that my life wouldn't be spent in the hospital bed,
Mm-hmm.
There was no way that was going to be in my life. I decided there was no way I was never going to walk again. I was partially paralyzed. My entire right side was paralyzed for a few months. But I worked through it and passed it. And my right side is still a bit weaker than my left side. But it can write, it can snap, it can do everything almost.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay, I'm here. Uh-huh.
Since it was partially paralyzed, I had to work to my whole, the word that kind of describes me right now is adaptation, because I had to learn how to adapt everything basically, and I would use adaptive cook. Now I can use regular utensils, but I used adaptive utensils at first with thicker handles. I had some adaptive cooking ware where you would secure something down before you cut it so it wouldn't move out of place. The things that I didn't know what a TBI was before I had one. And I think it's very important that people sort of understand that not everyone's brain works the same way.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. And of course, you highlighted that as well, too. There was, you went through the physical part and also emotional part as well. How do you think you've emotionally changed after that that accident? It's like, do you think some areas have improved, some areas have digressed, or it's just like, I mean, you sound like a very lively person, before the injury, and then after the injury, it's like you've changed. How did you manage that you have changed, from before you got hit to after you got hit? It's like how have you changed somehow?
It's honestly indescribable how I've changed. I think of it as like Emily 1.0 was before the accident. Now I'm Emily 2.0, and I do things differently, and I think differently, but I'm still me. All my friends have said it's amazing how you're still you. Like the core of who I am is still there. It's just, I'm a little, the word neurodivergent never comes up in my book, but that's an identity that I've really sort of, stepped into, because it helps me to understand that brains work differently and that not everyone's brain is traditional. And maybe you've got autistic people or ADHD or tons of other brain things that would make you neurodivergent. And I think that people just need to understand that not that sometimes you need more explanation, different explanation. Just some people need extra help sometimes. And I think the best thing you can do to someone that needs that is support them. Just be there for them.
Mm-hmm. And of course, as part of hope as well, too. And of course, one of them is where healing takes time, but growth is definitely possible.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is healing my healing journey? I mean, I feel I'm still on it, kind of. But I'm not considered disabled by the government, because I can walk and I can talk, basically. But I can never drive again. I have seizures sometimes. Thankfully, I'm on this great medication that stays off my seizures. So I've only had them one time. But I had like 5 seizures that one time, so I'm considered an epileptic. But I've never had another episode besides that first time. It was on Father's Day. I had been biking with my dad, and I had a bunch of seizures.
Okay.
And so I cannot drive because of that. I can't really drink alcohol because of the medication I'm on. I can't. That's basically all I can't do. It's more what I can do was I never would have imagined that who I am today is who I would have become, because I was so worse for wear at some point, and to know that this was possible, and that's what I want people to know, is that their life is possible after TBI. Like there's a second part of your story.
Mm-hmm.
There's more chapters to be written.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think my story's over. My story obviously didn't end on September 7th, 2019, even though it could have, but it didn't, thankfully. And I live, like you said, I live in Sioux City. I live alone. I have a dog. I have another dog. Her name is Pepper. I have a job. I live alone. I live alone, which I never thought would be possible. I made a bunch of bets with my family, friends, and people that were surrounding me that I would never get better. None of them have taken me up on having to pay them back.
You could have made a killing and be like a millionaire on that one. Thought about that?
I would be broke, honestly, because I bet against myself because
gotcha. Okay.
They were betting for me, but I'm like, I will never be able to walk independently for 5 years. Obviously that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be broke if they'd all taken me up on the bets that I made, but because I was very disillusioned with myself when I was, hurt in the hospital at the beginning, like life just seemed impossible to continue on. But I did continue on, and thank God I did, because life now is so much different than I ever thought it could be or would be.
And of course, you talked about writing the story and everything as well, too. And it's best to own your story and work to overcome the challenges your way. And of course, you talked about yours and maybe some helpful tips on who's going through the same thing. It's like, what's some of the advice out there that you can help them overcome, like similar to what you're going through?
If someone was going through the same problem I went through, I would say read my book, buy my book and read it. Because there's a great list of resources and therapies that I got to try. And I think it could help anyone going through a challenge, though, because if she can go through that, you can overcome anything. Okay. If I can come on the other side, anyone can overcome most things,
Right. And, of course, it helps to have a lot of positivity and empowering yourself as well. I mean, those are the two other keys.
I had the greatest support system, the best doctors. Everything went. Something went very wrong at the beginning of the middle of my life, but everything went right beyond that. Like I had the best doctors. I was working with people that really knew me and were invested in me healing and getting better. And I just have the best people around me, and I had the greatest support system. My dad would make a list of people that would come see me in the hospital. They called themselves Team Emily, and then he would organize a list so I wouldn't be alone anytime that I wasn't sleeping. There was actually a point at one of the nursing homes at the beginning where there were so many people coming through. They told my family, give her a break. Like, don't come all the time. She needs time to heal and sleep.
And I think that's very important as well, too, for caregivers, that you are entitled to a break, irregardless of like an hour or maybe half a day, a whole day, a whole week. And of course, message out there, it's like caregivers, give yourself a break at times.
Oh, my God, of course. Like my aunt was my primary, she was my mom's best friend. She's not my actual biological aunt, but she was my mom's best friend. And then when my mom died, I went to stay with her when I wasn't at school. So she's who I lived with for the first 2 years after my accident. But then I was able to graduate to living with a roommate, and now I live alone in a studio. Now, like I'm living a life I never thought would be possible for myself.
And what are some of the things you're currently doing right now, like you weren't doing back before the accident?
What do you mean?
No, you're talking about Emily 2.0. You did things that you have never done before, and it's like, experiencing something better.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's better, it's just different, Like, I think, I don't, like, I don't think this was, like, the worst thing that, like, it didn't stop my life, it just shifted my life and shifted what I was going to do. So I never really knew what I was going to do after college, but now I'm an author, and, I've always wanted to write a book and never knew what it was going to be about. And then it sort of literally hit me like the car that this story was inside of me, and I had to get it out.
And you're doing a really good job of it as well, too. And where can we find the best or worst at, Emily?
It's on Amazon, and it's on Barnes & Noble's website, and a few smaller bookstores' websites, too. But I don't know if they ship worldwide. So, but the best bet is Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Okay, well, certainly check that out. We're here with the amazing author, Emily Silver Owen, the best that works here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a few things. Emily, what else can we expect me in 2025 and beyond?
Oh, my God, that's a hard question. I do have an idea for a children's book series starring my current dog, Pepper, as a neurodivergent little puppy. And she's facing problems that neurodivergent children might face, like going to the doctors or getting a haircut or going to school. And if my 18-pound tiny dog can do it, any kid can do it too. So hopefully you'll see a children's book come out of me, and you'll maybe see a fictionalized version of my half fictionalized version of my life that I've thoughts for, called The Misadventures of Brain Injured 20-something-year-old, but I have to live more of my 20s to be able to write that. because I'm only 27, and I still have 2 more years of my 20s, so I'll probably write that in my 30s when I'm out of my 20s.
Mm-hmm. And we're certainly looking forward to that as well, too. And just a couple of things. Emily, who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
To be honest, no one. Because any memoir I read were like by lady comedians or like politicians or something, and never by a brain injured person. Or someone facing extreme challenges, honestly. So I wouldn't say I necessarily have influences, because I think I wrote it kind of solely in my own world, my own space, my own head.
Okay.
I don't think I could pick out any specific influence, but there's authors I love, Octavia Butler. I love Mindy Kaling, were some great autobiographies. And I guess maybe somehow inspired me, because I read them before I wrote my book, but I didn't try to mimic it or have it next to me while I'm writing or anything.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a pretty good one, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
To anybody?
Yes, in general.
Life, it always gets better. It can always get better. Anything can always get better. That's always been my kind of slogan. My senior year of college, I would make food, and my roommates would eat it, and one of them would go, "Oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever eaten." I would say, it can always get better. And now I've really sort of embodied that phrase, because it can also always, get worse. I've been at the worst parts, but I'm hopeful for the future. And I think everyone should be hopeful for the future, because it can always get better no matter what the situation is. How you look at it and how you perceive it, it will always get better and change over time.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's great advice as well, especially those who are going through TBI as well, too. Once again, with the amazing author Emily Silver Owen of The Best of the Worst here on the Mike Wagner Show. Emily, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best. And once again, what's your website? How do people contact you, or we can purchase or check out your book?
mwritesbooks.com.
Website again?
My website is emwritesbooks.com.
And make sure we check it out on Amazon as well. Once again, Emily, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We love having you back. We wish you all the best. And Emily, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, Mike. So do you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond. You're listening to The Mike Wagner Show. You can check out our music and know all about us at www.ericdiamondmusic.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. You can friend me on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, and you can even buy both of my albums off of Facebook. Just get a hold of me on the Facebook Messenger. We have them available in CD or thumb drive. Thank you so much, and hope you have a great day.
Hi, I'm Burl Bear, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody's he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing. This is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he can rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by me and Mosinzia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, either paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by me and Mosinzia.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.